Welcome to The Hero Maker. In this series, we follow Richard's appearances on other shows as he talks about how to grow, play, think, and live like a hero. Join him as he discusses thoughts, principles, and life lessons, all essential for anyone building their heroic brand. All that and more, only on The Hero Maker.
But how do you choose your typography? Because there's thousands of fonts out there, hundreds of different
thousands of fonts. I have a couple of basic rules. The first one is really simple. It's called age, right? So you want your fonts to age well together. And the reason for that is you have three letters in the English language that work really well together. You have the A, the G, and the E, right? So and it's hard to do in audio form, but you know how you have the A that has a circle and the little curly Q up at the top and the little tail on the left? Mm-hmm. Right, so we have that version of the A, and then we have another version of the A that's like a little circle with a line on the right-hand side. Right, so there's two different versions of the A. Same thing with the G. We have the G where the G goes, a little circle, and then the curly Q that goes off to the left, and we have the G where the curly Q and looks kind of funny down on the bottom. Right, there's two different versions of the G, and then we have two different versions of the E. Right, you have the normal, like E circle, and then you have one where it's more squared off. But anyways, those three, it's hard to do that without visuals. But anyways, the A, G, and E. For your headline and body font, all you're looking for a headline and body font where the age matches, right? Where and it's just a simple mnemonic to make sure you remember that you want your fonts to age well together, right? So you want the A, G, and E to match, and that'll make the headline and body fonts feel like they go together. Is if they use the A, the G, and the E the same way throughout the font. So that's the first sort of like rule of thumb. You can break that, of course, but rule of thumb, if you don't know what you're doing from a design perspective, pick fonts that age well together. Now, the second rule is you want to pick your, it's sort of like a two-part rule. Is your headline font is basically it's a style, right? You pick the headline font that makes you feel good, that fits with what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do. So I would take a piece like a web page design or a piece that you're having your designer work on for you, be like, I want to see this design with 3 or 4 different headline fonts. Don't change anything else, just change the headline font. And you pick the headline font based on how it makes you feel, right? Which is, I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's a feeling, right? You pick and be like, this is the feel I'm going for. And you do that. And then the body font generally is you match the AGE with it. So you pick a few different fonts that have the AG and E that match. And you go for one that is really easy to read, right? That reads well. And generally speaking, has more weight options than not, right? So if you've ever looked at something like Google Fonts, you'll see some of the fonts that are really popular, like Open Sans or Roboto or Proxima Nova, any of those fonts, they have lots of weights, meaning like they have thin and ultra thin and regular and light and medium and heavy and bold and super extra, super duper bold, right? It's like, the toilet paper crisis, the ultra mega toilet paper, right? But yeah, you want to have as many weights available as possible because it gives you a lot of flexibility in your design with your body fonts. So those are sort of my rules of thumb for picking fonts. Is you go with the feel for the headline font, and you go with readability and weights for the body font.
If you want to hear the rest of this discussion, please check out the link to the full episode in the description below.